your book talks about women.
Yes.
In today's scenario, we are also talking about women empowerment
Yes.
and feminists. So, sir, आज की time में when we talk about women empowerment and your book, sir, how are they related? And if a lady is reading your book, what she can learn from your book?
See, one very important thing is that the Bharatiya Shakti Tattva, Shakti principle, is the most empowering thought, concept for women. It instills that confidence that women have an agency without having to be in conflict with others. अगर आप देखें, all 10 women are very different. All of them are individuals, but all of them are not, moving towards individualism, जो modern time पे मिलता है. They don't think they're in conflict with the rest of the world. That is a single most important thing, whether it is men or women. See, जब Draupadi gets angry on Yudhishthir quietly listens. Or you will see Nala. Look at his conversation with Damayanti. It is so sensitive. So the picture that comes is all of them have their agency. All of them know their limitations. That is what, and all women were actively contributing to the public space of their time. Gargi was in the Sabha of Janak Maharaj. Shandilya Duhita was an ascetic by her own choice. Madhavi goes and marries 4 kings through her own choice.
She married 4 kings.
4 different kings. So she's the daughter of Yayati.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, the 5th marriage, Swayamvar, is offered. She denies and goes and, lives in a forest. She says, I'm marrying the forest. And, finally, uske punya se Yayati goes back to the Swarga again because of Madhavi. Chitrangada decides to not, after marriage, not go to, Indraprastha with Arjuna, stays back to take care of her father's kingdom and brings her son up who becomes Babruan and who continues. All of them have an agency. All of them think they are powerful. All of them think they can make a difference.
So the example which you gave of Chitrangada in today's scenario also we can completely talk about that, na? Ki if a family have 2 daughters, then a daughter should support their family also if they are working.
All of that is all the time happening in our, folklore. It's not just in the Puranas. If you come to the modern age, if you come to historical era, you will see similar such evidences. See, the Chalukya king, Pulikeshi, who defeated Harshavardhan, his daughter was a Sanskrit poetess. His daughter-in-law was also a Sanskrit poetess. Uske stone inscriptions hai, So through and through, till at least 12th century, you will see women actively contributing. So any society organized on dharma will create that opportunity. That is the confidence that all of us
should carry.
The dharma has diminished in the last few centuries for whatever reasons. And that is why we are seeing a feudal emergence and so on and so forth. And of course, modernity is trying to say that we will solve this problem, but instead, it's creating too many conflicts. And the conflict itself will tear. So we are drawing inspiration from a wrong source to solve our problems. Problems सच्चे हैं, लेकिन modernity has not solved this problem in their own regions from where it has come. Even today, there are far many more women CEOs from India than from Australia. We've had a woman prime minister ahead of others. They're still struggling to figure out, So the point is that with all our problems, with all feudal situations that we've had in the last 300 years, with all disparity, we still have the solution within ourselves.
We just have to
relook. And a lot of women know it. I mean, I know several women who will not press the modern individualism beyond a point. For femininity, we have our own past from which we can leverage. And society commonly has that confidence. Quite लोग जो बात नहीं कर रहे हैं उनमें कॉन्फिडेंस है.
क्योंकि सर अभी क्या एक नैरेटिव ड्रॉ हो रहा है वेस्ट से भी फेमिनिज्म का, एंड आई थिंक जो हमारा कल्चर है और जो वहाँ का कल्चर है,
they did give voting rights to them for such a long time. And look at our society. If you yesterday I was talking about this. There is a place called Chandraketu Gar in West Bengal, in Bengal. There we've found terracotta images that belong to 200 BC to 400 AD, 500 AD. In that, you will see women hunting animals, women being warriors, women capturing elephants, kheda, jo kehte hain, and all women troops, musical troops. And if you see the images, the bonhomie between the man and the woman is completely different. You can almost think it's a modern world. That was 200 BC to 400 AD. So, Dharma has shaped a different kind of society where men and women had reasonably equal agencies without trampling each other. We've lost it in the last few centuries. And modernity that seems to be solving this problem is actually not solving. It's creating more conflict. And you can see that in the West itself.
So I think
Dharma will.
Dharma will help. And in current scenario, the example which you gave of Bengal, sir, these type of stories should reach masses.
I am surprised this Chandraketu Gar was revealed long back. I mean, many decades back.
These things should be included in the syllabus, na?
Exactly. So, still, since we don't have control over the institutions yet, we have a problem. So, we need to, it's a slow process. 50 saal nahi tha, we were not there. Last 15 years, we've begun the process. Slowly, our people are realizing, but it's a long journey.
I am talking, sir, this question from my last, I think, 4 podcasts. That syllabus of our current education system is been changing. But I think that example which you gave now, that example clears a lot of things why you should change the syllabus, and you should include more and more glorifying things of ancient India so that the children who are reading current syllabus should know. Because
I absolutely, I spoke about this in an audience where young high school, college students were there. And one girl said that, "Sir, I hated my culture because I always thought reading from the books, it's very negative towards women. But after reading your book, I will relook at it." So, because the narratives are totally one-sided and selectively picked. So they'll pick and say, Aryaa. No, Aryaa was wrong. But if you read actually the story, you will see that the original story is far more balanced.
सर वही बात आ गई ना आपने जो अभी कही थी कि आप एक श्लोक को प्लग करके नहीं बोल सकते कि हाँ ये चीज होगी. You have to go through the entire thing.
Gautama also suffers there. Aryaa also suffers there. Aryaa is still respected. She is still Panchakanya, Draupadi is still Panchakanya. Tara is still Panchakanya. Point is, when you go through the complete accounts, scope for distortion will be very, very less. Yes, we should not say there are no problems. Hai problems, abhi hai. Today, aaj ke din mein. But last few centuries have been very different. So as we begin to draw solutions from our sources, we will get it back.
Sir, आपने एग्जाम्पल दिया कि आप एक ऑडियंस को बात कर रहे थे और वहाँ से एक लड़की ने बताया आपको. सर तो एक चीज़ फ्रॉम द पास्ट आई थिंक 10 years we can say, we always encounter is that whenever we talk about Hindutva or Hinduism, we from inside us somewhere we feel guilt or whatever has been taught to us due to that. जो आपने अभी बताया कि हमको जो बताया गया है वो हमारे कल्चर के बारे में उतना रिच नहीं था, उतना पॉजिटिव नहीं था, या यूँ कहें तो अचीवमेंट, जैसे कि वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट की हमने बात करी ये हमारे इतिहास में दिस थिंग हैज़ बीन प्रैक्टिस इन प्रैक्टिस फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग टाइम। तो क्योंकि हमको वो सब पढ़ाया नहीं गया, इसलिए हमारे दिमाग में कुछ और मिसकंसेप्शंस हैं। सर, इसको हम जो गिल्ट है कि यू कैन नॉट टॉक अबाउट योर धर्म, बट अगर कोई अपनी तीर्थ पे जा रहा है दूसरे देश में, वो ठीक है, लेकिन अगर आप अपने देश में तीर्थ पे जा रहे हो तो कहीं ना कहीं आप एक पिछड़ी हुई मानसिकता के हो, यू आर रिग्रेसिव। तो सर, वो हम कैसे हम सब यहाँ सर यंग ही लोग बैठे हैं, हम कैसे उस चीज़ को अपने कॉन्शियस से बाहर करें कि नहीं, हम जो हैं हम अपनी जगह पर सशक्त हैं, पावरफुल हैं, एंड वी हैव टू लव आवर कल्चर।
I'll go back to my first answer. The only solution, one, is to read correctly, read from the original sources. आज के दिन में हो रहा है because of internet. We are now able to find, lots of stuff digitized and available, full books, which would have not got, which would have had to depend on some universities. And if only left liberals are there, they would only give certain accounts. But आज के दिन में we are all able to get it. But it's still not enough. If everybody dedicates themselves to, forget about everybody, if we have 5,000 people dedicated to study one subject each, in 10 years we can resolve this problem. The issue is not sitting and spending time on one subject for a long time. Shri Vikram Sampath has, years has studied with Vinayak Damodar Savarkar and is now able to produce 2 books. Now, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar is forever placed in the rightful position. Hatana namumkin hai.
That's many people in India are irritated by that fact.
Absolutely. So that's why the aggravation that उनके 50 साल का जो मेहनत है, vilification of Savarkar is gone. It is clear. So I have great respect for that work. Like that, if everybody, so look at Sai Surpayar, she's written about 5 women from our Rigveda and Mahabharat. Now those accounts will be there and they will never go anywhere. And they're truthful accounts, truthful retellings, truthful reimagination. So if 1,000 people do this, we'll get it back. But let's say, that's not happening. At least we should begin to read the original sources. That I'll repeat again and again. So हमारे जो Indic Academy जो Mahabharat experts है, we're all studying Mahabharat. We keep reading. It's खत्म ही नहीं होगा. We'll keep
going. Sir, we will read that scriptures now. Something new
comes up. So dedicating is extremely important. If we dedicate ourselves, we'll get it back. So, but until a critical number of people dedicate themselves to bring things back to normalcy, it will not happen. If we're all the time relying on somebody else, it will not happen. In this process, we will also get our institutions back under our control. But it will not happen without our... Agar hum muscle, if we don't develop the ability, we will not get the institution control also.
We can conclude on that कि somewhere we have to put our hands out कि हाँ, हम बदलाव के लिए तैयार हैं, and we want to go through all the original scriptures which are present in our ancient history.
Yes.
And so that we...
Not just scriptures. Everybody need not touch... There are just good history. Study 100... Manish Srivastav is another person part of Indic Academy. He has produced 7-8 books on, revolutionaries. Lot of revolutionaries have been wiped out. And he's produced it in Hindi, Kranti Doot. I should invite him someday. So that is you can focus on history of 25 years. Study the original sources.